everybody, my name is Quinn and welcome to my channel, and today, now that I've given you a life update a couple days ago, I'm going to give you a booktube update because a lot of you are just here for the books and don't care about my life, and that's fine, but I wanted to just kind of explain that in that other video, but now we're back to the books. So today I wanted to talk about why I am not using a TBR system anymore. I wanted to explain a little bit as of why so that you know why those TBR videos aren't coming and why I'm not posting them. So for those of you who are new to booktube videos, if I know you in real life and you are watching this, monthly TBR videos are TBR, like to be read books that you are going to read during a month, and a physical TBR is all of the unread books that you have on your shelf. So as many of you may know, I did take a YouTube break, a hiatus if you will, for about a year, and during that year I wasn't doing any sort of monthly TBRs at all. I was still watching a lot of YouTube and I was still watching a lot of TBR videos, but I was just kind of like picking up whatever I wanted, and I really enjoyed that. I love just like being in the mood for a book and picking it up and not having to worry about if it was on the list of books I wanted to read that month. It was such a peaceful time, and honestly, I think it made me read more. The fact that I could just pick up whatever I wanted and I didn't feel obligated to pick up a book. But it wasn't until I came back onto YouTube that I started doing these TBR videos again. And I think that's because I felt a pressure to do them because all the other booktubers are filming TBR videos. And it's kind of like an expectation that at the beginning of the month, you make your wrap up in TBR videos. I was like, oh yeah, I can just do that to make more content. I feel like I kind of had to do it in order to not compete, but to keep up to the same level that other booktubers were doing, even though it wasn't something that I was entirely comfortable with. So I was making these TBR videos, and I think for a while it was working, and for a while I was coming up, I was like making those goals and I was following the lists and whatnot. But when it hit September and when I went back to school, it kind of all fell apart. I set a goal, I think, for September to read 6 or 7 books, and there were all these books that I wanted to read before Boston Teen Author Festival, and I was so determined. And then I got to school, it got crazy, it got stressful. Again, watch that college update video if you care, but I got so stressed out and I didn't want to read anything. And not only did I not want to read anything because I was so stressed out, but I didn't want to read anything because I felt like I had a list of books that I had to read, and none of those books were like speaking to me at the given moment, and I didn't really want to pick them up. I felt compelled to because they were on that list, and I just felt like such an awful feeling to have. Why should I feel like I have to pick up a book instead of that I want to pick up a book? And if you have TBRs and you don't feel this sense of anxiety and pressure, then that is great. I am so happy for you that you are able to do that, but that is just not something that I can do. It felt like homework, and you never want to feel like you're doing homework when you're reading because it just takes the enjoyment out of it. So I'm not doing TBR videos anymore, and I just wanted to explain why, because I feel like when I didn't do a TBR for October, I've been reading so much more just because I'm in the mood for something and I pick it up, and it doesn't feel like a chore, it doesn't feel like a task, it just feels like something I want to do. And that's been a great feeling, and I think I've been reading so much more because of it, and I got out of my reading slump because of it, and I just wanted to explain that for you guys. So not only am I not doing monthly TBRs, I'm also trying to get rid of my physical TBR. I have a lot of unread books. Not all of those are unread, but a lot of them are. I honestly look at all those books and I get kind of stressed out sometimes because I'm like, there's so many books. How am I going to get through all of them? And it also goes back to that guilt. Like, if I go into a bookstore and I see a book that I really want to read and I'm really interested in that moment, I don't pick it up because I'm like, you spent so much money, you have so many books at your home and school, and you can't buy that book because you have so many others to read. Even though you're really excited about it, even though you really want to read it, I've decided that I'm going to try my darn hardest to not buy any books until my entire TBR is gone. So this is most of my TBR. I do have like 4 or 5 books unread at home, but I would really like to get that down. And I'm not going to set a date for myself as to when I want to get that list done. Would it be great to get all these books read by January? Absolutely. But do I think that's going to happen with all of my college stress? I don't think so. I really want to get into the place in my reading, kind of not reading life, but into my reading where I can go to a bookstore and I can buy a book, I finish that book, and then I buy another one, so that I don't have just this collection sitting that I feel guilty if I'm not reading one of those books. It's great to have options, and I think that's one of the things I'll miss when I don't have a physical TBR, because I like having choices. But then again, those choices are replaced by me being able to go to the bookstore and pick out anything I want. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. I know a lot of people love having options and they love just having a lot of unread books and they feel comforted by it, but for me it just feels stressful and it feels like a waste if I'm just having them sitting up there and they're not being read. My goal by the end of the school year, I guess, I think it'll get done before then, is to get my physical TBR completely down. And just so that I can get to the point where I go to a bookstore, I get a book, I come back, I read it, I buy a new one, and it's just that cycle. So every time I'm reading a book, it's because I'm super excited about it in that moment, and not because I feel like I have to because it's on my shelf. Because obviously when I bought all those books, I was so excited for them. But as time goes on and you feel like it's more of an obligation, some of that excitement goes away. So I just wanted to explain why I'm not doing monthly TBR videos anymore, why I'm trying to get my physical TBR down, so why you're not going to see a ton of book hauls, and just my reading life in general. So that's kind of an update on my thoughts of reading right now. I wanted to tell you guys that I'm going to start putting the book that I'm currently reading in the corner of my desk right there. So I'm currently reading Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. I have like 130 pages left to go. Leave general thoughts in the comments down below. No spoilers, please, because I haven't finished it yet. I'm really liking it so far. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys!